Singapore, Indonesia tech professionals to work in each other's industries under new agreement. Singapore, young tech professionals from Singapore and Indonesia can work and gain experience in each other's tech industries, under an agreement signed by the two countries on Thursday, March 16. The TechX program was among 6 new memorandums of understanding, MOUs, signed at the Singapore-Indonesia Leaders Retreat.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and click our bell icon for new videos.
Signed at the Singapore-Indonesia Leaders Retreat. The agreements covered areas such as energy, sustainability, health, and human capital development. In remarks delivered after the signing of the MOUs, Singapore's Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong also spoke about the progress in bilateral cooperation between the two countries. He pointed to the ratification of the 3 agreements under the expanded framework, whose signing was witnessed by Mr. Lee and Indonesia's President Joko Widodo at the previous retreat. Mr. Lee noted that both countries have taken a major step forward to resolve 3 long-standing bilateral issues and are ready to break new ground in fresh areas of cooperation. Tech Exchange. The TechX program will allow young tech professionals in Singapore and Indonesia to pursue growing opportunities in each other's digital economies, said Singapore's Ministry of Trade and Industry, MTI. The agreement with the Indonesian Coordinating Ministry of Economic Affairs will also deepen linkages between the tech ecosystems in both countries, MTI said. These professionals from Singapore and Indonesia should be below the age of 30, and have graduated not more than 5 years prior with at least a bachelor's degree from listed universities in both countries. More details on the program will be released when ready, said MTI. Our tech cooperation will strengthen ASEAN collaboration in this emerging sector. This includes working towards a digital economy framework agreement under Indonesia's ASEAN chairmanship, said Mr. Lee. An existing agreement on vocational education and training between the Singapore Ministry of Education and Indonesian Ministry of Industry was also renewed on Thursday. In addition, the bilateral financial agreement between the central banks in both countries was extended for the 4th straight year. Singapore has been Indonesia's top foreign investor since 2014. Last year, Singapore's total investments in Indonesia reached $17.5 billion, $13 billion. 9 business-to-business MOUs were also signed between Singapore and Indonesia, spanning areas like the digital economy and healthcare. This year's Leaders Retreat is Mr. Lee's 6th with Mr. Widodo, following last year's edition in Bintan, Indonesia. Mr. Widodo was given a special ceremonial welcome, conducted by professional musicians of the Singapore Armed Forces Central Band. The welcome was arranged in line with the setting of the retreat, a meeting among old friends, said a spokesperson from the Prime Minister's office. Mr. Lee during the joint press conference also said that Singapore and Indonesia last week jointly applied for approval from the International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO, for the new arrangements under the Flight Information Region, FIR, agreement. Upon ICAO's approval, both countries will agree on a date for the 3 agreements to be implemented simultaneously, which will bring lasting benefits to both sides, he added. The successful outcome reflects our strong bilateral relations, and shows that Singapore and Indonesia can gain substantial mutual benefits through open and constructive engagement. Mr. Lee on Thursday also hosted lunch for Mr. Widodo and the Indonesian delegation, comprising ministers and ministerial-ranked officials. The Singapore delegation included Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Finance Lawrence Wong, Senior Minister and Coordinating Minister for National Security Teo Chee Hean and other cabinet ministers. That Singapore and Indonesia can gain substantial mutual benefits through open and constructive engagement. Mr. Lee on Thursday also hosted lunch for Mr. Widodo and the Indonesian delegation, comprising ministers and ministerial-ranked officials. The Singapore delegation included Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Finance Lawrence Wong, Senior Minister and Coordinating Minister for National Security Teo Chee Hean and other cabinet ministers. Teo Chee Hean and other cabinet ministers.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and click our bell icon for new videos.